So I have to get a lot of compliments from people about my intelligence. People are like, wow, you're so smart, or how'd you get to be so smart? And I actually find the latter compliment really interesting, because I think it says something uh, about the nature of intelligence. There's a common assumption that intelligence is something you're born with, and you either have it or you don't. That some people are born with better, more complex brains than others. And while I'm sure that there's a genetic component to it, I tend to think that intelligence is a little bit more of an accomplishment than uh, um, than something innate. I think if you were to compare my brain to Sarah Palin's brain, you wouldn't find that many differences. Um, I think the prerequisite for intelligence is basically curiosity, and that's why why I think I'm intelligent about a lot of things. I'm not given to false humility. I will say that yes, intelligence is one positive trait I possess. I will, yeah. There are many negative qualities I have that I have as well, and I'll admit those as well. But um, but I mean the reason that uh, I'm fairly intelligent, that I'm above average intelligence, is because I'm curious about things. I'm kind of in love with ideas. I like to learn all these different philosophies and these different ideas about how the world is and how in terms of economics, I'm interested in how to improve the world, and so that's why I study that stuff. Um, it's not that I'm gifted with this powerful insight that just makes me automatically know these facts. It's just that they interest me, and so I pursue them. And to me, this is most apparent in the fact that people who you might not consider very intelligent often are intelligent in certain areas. I have one friend that I grew up with who um, I wouldn't consider him an intellectual, but he knows cars. And he's very knowledgeable about how cars work. What cars are work better. I mean, he used to be in the army. He knows a lot about military equipment. That's and he knows that stuff, so he pursues it and likes to learn all about it. I have another friend who really would strike, who I think many people would consider to be like below average intelligence, but when it comes to like uh, rock and roll history, he knows a great deal. He can tell you what the amp settings were for Jimi Hendrix when he was at the Monterey Pop Festival. He could name all kinds of different facts about the history of rock and roll because that's what interests him. There's um, people tend to be intelligent about the things that interest them. Um, I for one have never really been able to like get myself into math. It's hard for me to be interested in math, and so that's where one area where I'm weak. I don't know much math beyond basic algebra. That so that's where I'm weak in my intelligence. It's where I don't know a lot. Um, Others find math fascinating and are able to study it and learn calculus. I mean, it's interesting that calculus was invented independently by Isaac Newton and Gottfried Leibniz. Leibniz, um, both independently of one another, because they were both that interested in math, and I envy them for being able to hold that interest in numbers and and the relationships between them for the long, because I would really like to be able to have them hold my interest long enough to study that kind of stuff. But whenever I yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm interested in economics, but I'm interested in it because of, because I'm interested in changing the world. Um, but whenever I read an economics book and it starts giving equations, then my eyes just glaze over, and I lose interest in that part. Just kind of skip over to the next text part of the book. You know. So yeah, I think that intelligence is a habit that is built up out of curiosity. Yeah, and so the real question is, what makes someone curious? Um, is that innate, or is it programmed by the environment? Well, I think that if you look at children, they have they're kind of born curious. They have this wide-eyed look around on the world, they're always asking questions. Why is the sky is blue? Why is the sky blue? Why? There's children are natural uh, scientists, if you will. They're always investigating, always trying to find out things, and so I think it's crucial that that curiosity be nurtured by their parents, by the educational system, um, and that and I think a lot of education tends to be so limited to teaching them the correct answer to things. So it's just get them to stop asking questions. And so I think education needs to be reformed in such ways to encourage the asking of questions and encouraging people to investigate. So I guess that's my thoughts for now. Peace.